So it's time for the games of the month. Of course, it is December, which means, oh boy, video game rules. There's a lot coming out, I assume, because I was looking at my release schedule earlier today and being like, I don't know where I'm going to get the money for these, and that's okay. So, Matt, hit me with a list. Just hit me with that rhythm stick.
Yeah, it's a weird one, isn't it? It's like December's meant to be the quiet month where nothing happens, but right up till
And
pretty
yet,
much the end of the month, there is plenty coming. So
it's a lot.
over on the PlayStation, we have on December 1, we've got Sword of the Vagrant, which is a gorgeous hand-painted fantasy world that you journey into. So like it's an RPG, I think. That's
I love how
that's
you
what
read that as if it was like a 2 a.m. infomercial cell.
Yeah, you don't trust anything you just said.
Yes, you just read off a script and the script is not accurate to anything.
Call the number below to get your the game now.
Yeah, there's no swords or vagrants in this.
But
Yeah,
wait,
it's all
there's
guns.
more.
It's all guns and lawmen. It's
Um,
Red Dead Redemption 2.
yeah, so that's that. It's happening and it's on December 1. Also on December 1, there is Romancing Saga Minstrel Song Remastered. Now, this is the PlayStation 2 edition of the Saga series, which Square Enix has remade or upresed or whatever. I haven't played this one, so I'm looking forward to it. Should be good.
I've never played one of those games ever in my life.
They're a trip.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're a very different type of RPG. It's kind of like Square Enix's experimental JRPG series, and they really do get experimental with it. So yeah, it goes weird
Why?
places with the combat system and the leveling system and all that other stuff, and the way it does story. Those games are odd. They're odd. They're not for everybody. That doesn't sell particularly well within Square Enix's stable, but they're definitely worth checking out if you're into
I was gonna say
JRPGs.
because I've never heard anyone go. My favorite JRPG genre, JRPG family is the Romancing Saga.
Yeah, yeah, that's fair enough. I don't think anybody would say they're their favorites, but there are people that do enjoy them a lot. So this one, I'm definitely keen on checking out. Okay, so I must admit, against all of my inclinations and everything that I think about myself, I'm looking forward to a Marvel game, believe it or not. On December 2, we've got Marvel's Midnight Suns coming out.
Yes, that's a
this-
video game.
Yes, this is an XCOM-like strategy
Yeah.
game featuring Marvel characters, and I just have in my head that there's going to be like Moon Knight, and I can like use Moon Knight to kill every dude, like
You
tactics
can use Moon
RPG
Knight
style.
to bitch about vampires.
Yeah, so I must admit I am looking forward to this one. It is by the XCOM developer, so
Yeah, it's
Firaxis. Yep.
Yeah.
So they're pretty reliable.
They have yet to make a bad game in my experience.
Yeah. So
Even the Wii Civilization game was pretty good.
yeah, they're definitely a talented dev team, and they have done great things with XCOM, and I can see it working for Marvel. So yeah, I'm keen on it. On December 2 as well, we have the Outbound Ghost, which is this cute little Paper Mario-like RPG, which I'm looking forward to a great deal. You play as a ghost, and you have to go and help other ghosts get over their regrets and stuff, and then ascend to the afterlife. You do that by a Paper Mario style adventuring and combat system and stuff. It's cute.
What
It's
was
charming.
the game where you played as a ghost on DS?
Ghost Trick?
Ghost Trick?
Ghost Trick. Is it anything like that?
No, no. This is an actual
Okay,
RPG.
I'm not interested then.
This is definitely Paper Mario-esque. This is definitely they've looked at the original Paper Mario and the N64 and said, we're going to do that, but ghosts.
But
So
no combat, right? It's just an adventure game, yeah?
got combat.
Is there
Screen-
combat?
Yeah, screenshots show combat.
Oh, there's combat. Okay.
So yeah. On December 2, another one on December 2, we've got the Callisto Protocol, which is
I can't wait.
this is Dead Space, isn't it?
It's Dead Space with Karen Fukuhara from The Boys.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the story of seasons for Dead Space.
Yeah.
I cannot wait. I'm
It's
so
like-
ready for that video game. I'm gonna get murdered in so many different ways. It's gonna
Yeah,
be
but
sick.
it's going to be terrible because they missed the Halloween deadline. So
Oh, that's how that works. You're super right. No, it's so
Yeah,
messy.
they pushed it back because they missed Halloween. So yeah, that's
Nah,
definitely-
it's horror month every month. Normalize horror in whatever month you want.
The real horror is the fact that that I live in England. Like that's that's my living nightmare every day.
yeah.
I
it's
genuinely
true.
thought you were going to say the real horror is that we live in a society.
No, I was thinking about it and then I had to stop myself because I thought it was a bit too much. Like, oh,
It's too
Okay.
on brand. Gotta
yeah.
mix it up.
On December 6th, we got Warhammer 40k Inquisitor Martyr. That's what an
Oh,
expansion
who cares?
pack or something. That's the Diablo-like one, isn't it?
I don't know, but also I don't really care at this point. Like those games are all the same and they're all like sort of 6 out of 10.
I think this one is the Diablo-like. I think.
Because the Inquisitor game came out on PS5 recently as an upgrade, I believe, which is the Diablo game. Yeah.
Yeah, so this is like a DLC for that, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Cool.
They're fine.
On December 8th, we've got Samurai Maiden. You're gonna hate this game, Aiden. Aiden, Alan.
Aiden.
Aiden. I don't know where
Wrong
Aiden came from. You're Aiden now. Samurai Maiden.
Aiden Pierce. I have an iconic baseball cap.
You are not gonna like this game. So Samurai Maiden is a game about a girl that gets pulled into the Nobunaga era, you know, Sengoku period, and then has to go and kill zombies and stuff. And
That's great. No, that's sick.
Famously, elements of the Nobunaga period. The zombies.
Yeah, the
To be
zombies.
fair, that's like most Nobunaga based material is. Oh no, he's actually a demon king.
Oh yeah. He's like got spiritual powers and can raise the dead and stuff. It's true.
Yeah, that's just Nobunaga though. That's just a guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but this time
See,
around,
I wish there was more games about like King Henry VIII and the fact that he was actually just a necromancer. Like, I want that.
it's
I'm just
Elden Ring.
imagining, like, while we're talking about this, there's just footage of the most fan service anime game played in the background.
Yeah. Something that I could not show my parents without being horribly disappointed in myself.
Yeah, it's by D3 Publisher, which is the same group as Onichambara and other
Oh
movie
no,
games.
hell yeah. No, Onichambara, the new one was great. That was
Oh.
cool as hell.
See, this is the thing. Alan says he doesn't like fan service, but every time you mention like a good fan service
No,
game,
that
Alan's
game
like,
is not
"Oh,
fan
yes,
service.
titties."
That game is insane. That game is just like an insane fever dream that I can't explain, and I love that I can't explain it.
Alan just plays it for the story, not.
I
for the
legitimately
titties.
do. Like, you're saying this as a joke, but I'm being dead shit serious. That is the energy that I have.
Yeah, you're the only one that plays Onichambara for the story.
It's like reading Playboy for like the articles and not the pictures, you know.
I don't think I've
Like,
ever bought a Playboy. Anyway, Matt, what comes out next?
Moving on.
you don't buy Playboy, you find them all in the woods.
Because they're always covered in like sticky juice, and I don't like that.
Jesus.
Next game.
Next game. On December 13, we've got Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII Reunion, which is obviously the remake or remaster or whatever, full remaster.
I did just slap my table. I'm really sorry.
Is that
I'm
that
so
excitement or just
yeah, excitement. Hell yeah. The best Final Fantasy
slappingly
character.
good?
is that a PS2 game originally?
That was a
PSP
PSP.
game.
PSP
And it was
game.
held back by the fact that
Interesting.
PSP only had like 6 buttons.
Yeah, okay.
It's funny because it was around the era when Square Enix was like, Final Fantasy VII is making money. We just released Advent Children. We're going to make a bunch of extra games for
It's
it.
time for Dirge of Cerberus. Everyone,
And most of them were bad, except for this one. This one is great.
Okay,
it
well,
made me like a character.
this is like one of the very few Final Fantasies I haven't played, so I'm
Matt, you'll
I'm
love
definitely
it.
looking forward to it. Yeah, that'll be good.
It's very existential,
gacked.
very very postmodern.
And gacked.
But does it have Jessie? That's the main thing. The Final Fantasy VII's got.
It's
a Jessie
Malibu
now.
Stacy, but she's got a new hat.
I was imagining the infomercial now, like the game cover, a little sticker on the bottom. Now with gacked.
And now with gacked from the Devil May Cry series.
And then rounding out the month, I guess, on December 15, because there's nothing that then comes out until January. On December 15, you got Azure Striker Gunvolt 3,
Oh hell yeah!
which I
You're
believe
really
will
going
be,
with that one.
yeah, the next installment in the high-speed 2D action Gunvolt series. So there you go.
Has anyone been
Those
following
games are
those?
pretty decent from what I know.
Yeah, same from what I know. But has anyone ever met anyone who's been playing them consistently?
Well, they've got an audience, I would assume. I'd have
It
to
comes
assume
across as
these.
very much like my cousin loves this game, and it's like your actual second cousin, not your main cousin.
No, hold on. None of us have said that we know someone who plays this game. Matt
Do you
just
know
said,
the
I
game?
assume.
I assume they've got an audience. I have to assume these things. Otherwise, they wouldn't
There's
get to
no
number 3.
certainty.
They wouldn't get to number 3, would they? It's not like they're just churning out these things and they're not selling any copies. It's like,
There are
Yeah.
worse things that sell copies that shouldn't.
it's true.
Like, yeah,
It's true.
insightful commentary from a video game podcast. There are worse things that sell copies.
They only cost $8.
Yeah.
That's a pretty decent. Yeah, you know what? Everyone who's listening to the podcast, buy that game and then tell us about it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
please
please
do.
play
Tweet
this
me
Because
at
we won't.
Truffles. Yeah.
None of us are going to be playing it.
I don't even know what a game is.
Let's have a look at the Switch, shall we? On the
If
Switch,
we have to.
here, there's Romancing Saga comes out on the Switch as well, which is cool. Yep, that's fine.
The fact you're like, that's fine, tells me all I need to know about that series, and that's okay.
No. I really don't have a thing against the Saga games. I'm pretty positive with all of the ones that I've reviewed. It's just, yeah.
It's just okay.
Not your
It's-
favorite JRPG.
It's just not an RPG that I would recommend to Alan, for example. Or
You
Aiden
wouldn't recommend
even.
most RPGs to Alan or Aiden. I want to point out that's the first time I've ever been called Aiden before, by the way. I've been called Alex, Oliver, like
I actually
Eli.
thought originally he said like Hayden, like he was looking at Harvard's
Like
name,
Christensen.
and
No,
then
he
he
was
looked
looking
at.
at he was looking at the
Alan.
maiden part and then rhymed it.
Yeah, it was I think it was the maiden thing that I just got my brain confused with.
I'm
and
known for being such a
I
lovely maiden.
put Alan in Samurai Maiden, and I don't know, maybe he's Nobunaga or something.
Yeah, I'm actually a demon prince.
Back to the games. On December 1, here's a game that Alan is definitely going to enjoy. Lover Pretend. I don't know anything about it. It's just
That is
what
the
it's called.
dumbest name I've ever heard, and we've been doing this podcast for like 5 years at this point.
Who makes that?
Yes, that's such a good question to ask.
That's I should have looked this up.
No, what's it
before.
called? Sorry, Lover Pretend.
Oh, it's an Axis. Actually, it's a game that I
Axis?
probably will like. It's an Ultimate. It's an Otome by IDFL.
Oh,
Yeah,
this
that's
is
what I
not for
thought.
me.
That's what I thought. There were 3 possible developers that could have made that one, and Ultimate was one of them.
So actually, this is
What
a
is an
game
Otome game?
this is a game I'm looking forward to now. So an Otome game is a visual novel, in which is kind of more targeted towards women, in that the protagonist is a woman and the love interests are all men.
Yeah, it's like you think it's gonna be a dating sim because you've played male-focused dating sims, and then you play the game, and then you're like, wait, what the hell have I gotten myself into?
Yeah, it's really weird because they're often a lot more mature, and I mean that in the kind of real sense of the word, not just big boobs.
Not
They're-
just
they're-
titties and
yeah,
ass.
They're actually more mature than kind of visual novels aimed at men because they're targeted towards the women. The idea of what is fan service and how romance works and all those kinds of things is different. So they're more story driven, kind of. They go some pretty dark places too. Some of them, like some of them, go crazy places that I just never would have thought of in a kind of a romance.
So 50 Shades of
novel.
Grey, the game, awesome.
No,
Have you?
more like
Not really. no.
lots of people are dying. There's blood everywhere. There's been a massacre, but she hooked up with a dude at the end.
So Bridgeton, okay, awesome.
So I want to point out, when you first said what that was, I thought you were talking about the balls that you squeeze and they go.
Okay.
So I had to look it up just to. No, it's an automaton.
Oh, automaton. That's
the
that's
musical
a musical
instrument. I
note.
love them. I
That's
love
not a
them.
ball.
They're
The
curvy one that
best.
Oh,
that is the best.
you've just ruined it for me.
The
Now I'm just
best-
going to think about squeezing balls every time I play it.
The
You
best
haven't been thinking
musical
about that
instrument ever.
beforehand?
No.
Oh, you've been doing it wrong, mate.
On December 1, we're still only on December 1 with Switch. On December 1, there's a game called Inscription coming out. Now, Inscription
Oh,
is
yeah.
a very good PC game. Very, very good PC game. And now it's coming to Switch, it's this horror themed card game.
It's
And
barely a card game.
yeah, it's not really a card game.
Looks like a card game. from the
It looks like
screenshots.
it's not.
It's
It's the only card game that I've been okay with.
It's definitely a horror thing, in a good way. So I'm looking forward to playing that on Switch because then it can be on the go, which works for me. So yeah. On December 2, Cyrillum Ultimate comes out. Now, Cyrillum is a series by an Aussie one-man band developer called Thylacine Games. And I think he's done 5 or 6 of them now. And these games are ridiculous in terms of how much time you can spend grinding away, collecting monsters. It's kind of like Pokemon, but very indie. And rather than 300 Pokemon to collect, there's like 30,000. And the randomly generated dungeon levels go to like level 9,372,000. And
one person made this?
Yeah. And you can level your characters up to beyond Disgaea levels, and you end up spending like 3 million hours playing the game. That's what Cyrillum is. And Cyrillum Ultimate, the Ultimate in there has me a little bit concerned because I'll probably end up playing it and then I don't know if I've got the time for it. But they're actually good for what is essentially an endless grindy game. They're very, very good. And they look very humble, but once you get into them, they're just crazy in terms of how much depth there is to it. So there you go. That is a very hardcore game for a very hardcore audience, but that will last you all the way through Christmas and beyond. On December 2, on a very different note, we've got Super Kiwi 64. Now, this game caught my attention because I saw it on itch and it looked good. And it is a Nintendo 64 throwback platformer, as the name suggests, where you play as a Kiwi and you go and collect stuff, just like Banjo and Kazooie or Mario 64. That kind of era of platformer, but Kiwi. We haven't got that many kind of N64 throwback games. Like a lot of the retro developers are still making Super NES games or still making NES style games.
I'm actually going to argue with you there because there are a lot, but they're not getting a lot of traction for whatever reason. There was a really good game that came out on the Switch called like Little Demon or something like that. You played as a devil girl, and it's
I know that one. It's the Paper Mario platformer, right?
Yeah, it's really cool.
Very good.
There's also that other one that's like Blue Fire, which is also a Mario 64 style platform, but it's like a bit Dark Soulsy because it's got the bonfire stuff. That's pretty cool. There's also I mean, we're going to talk about ukulele, but ukulele exists. But there's a few of these that exist in this world that are coming out, and for some reason they're not getting the traction they should. It's weird.
There's quite a few Paper Mario likes now. There's that Ghost game. There's Bug Fables.
The Bug Fables is so sweet. What a lovely game.
Yeah,
I'm going to play that game. That's a wonderful game.
I know there are a couple of, especially the Paper Mario likes, but I don't know. I don't see too many efforts to do like N64 graphics. I think is more the thing. Perhaps because it's kind of primitive 3D versus, I mean, the Super NES sprites, for example, they still look great because that was the aesthetic. Whereas I get the sense that like PlayStation 1 era or N64 3D
very transitional.
It was transitional, and 3D graphics didn't start getting interesting until perhaps the PS2. So this kind of N64 era, people love the console, but perhaps they don't care for the aesthetic as an indie developer or something. I don't know. I'm just
Have you paid attention to the PS1 horror disc, like demo disc compilations that they keep releasing every year?
Yeah, Itch goes crazy with those kind of PS1 style
Itch is
horror
phenomenal
games.
for that sort of graphic. I think it's fantastic. There was a really, really good demo disc that was released, I believe, 2 years ago for the like the horror experience.
Yeah, I mean, every week I do my little
amazing.
I do my itch write-ups on the site, and that means I'm kind of looking at itch every week, and every week there's like a new dozen PS1 era horror game things on there, which is good. They all look interesting enough, I guess. But that's I think because the PS1 was kind of dark and grimy graphics, if that makes sense. Like it works for horror. That kind of
really does.
Yeah.
In the horror, kind of the console where it all took off.
Yes, it was also the first time that horror was really a thing.
I guess we kind of associate with it as a result of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Anyway,
did you guys ever play Lost in Vivo? Sorry, this is like extremely a divergence, and I'm really sorry for that.
I did
But Lost
not.
in Vivo is, oh, Matt, you should play that. That's a
You've
that's a
told
mad
this
game.
to me many times, and I've still not done it.
It's
I
so
still haven't
cheap.
played
It's
the Sexy Brutale, Alan.
fucking hell. You need to play the Sexy Brutal. It's the Glass Onion game that you never thought you needed.
That's a 5-year-old joke now.
Yeah, I know. We've been joking about that on the
Jeez,
podcast
5
forever. And a bit.
years. Are you serious?
Yeah, Matt was the other Matt, New Zealand Matt, used to be on the podcast regularly. Remember?
He used to make fun of me for playing the Sexy Brutal as well.
Yeah. December 2. We're still on December 2. Here's a game for you, Alan. You'll love this one. Sakura Succubus 6.
Oh.
Is that like the Succubus with a gun game that you were playing on Switch?
No, this is a visual novel with big boobed
How many
succubus.
Sakura games are there? There's
Well,
hundreds, aren't there?
there's hundreds, and there's 6 apparently of the Sakura Succubus series. They must
How
sell.
do they keep making these?
They must. There must be people out there that like the big boobed succubus things.
I need them to like put a limit on the amount of sounds you can have in a single game's title.
Yeah,
because it's too much.
The other
Yeah.
weird thing too is that I know people who have played the Sakura games. I still don't know anyone who's played Azure Striker Gunvolt.
I've played a Sakura game. There was one that I played, which was like a dungeon crawler, which was actually decent. Yeah, it was not a visual novel. I don't know if I played any of the Sakura visual novels. Anyway, it was a long time ago that I played that dungeon crawler. I can't even remember what it's called. Moving on. There's a lot of stuff that doesn't do anything for me.
That is crap looking.
Samurai Maiden,
Okay,
Samurai Maiden, the Aiden game, does come out on December 8 for the Switch as well. So you can play it on the go if you really want to play that kind of thing on the train. And
I don't know who is that for? Because like I would feel so uncomfortable playing that sort of game on the train.
As somebody who's played Dead or Alive Beach Volleyball on the train, you get over it.
There's
I
your
respect
answer.
that. Yeah, it's Matt. And Matt's the audience for that game.
There's a
Be
point.
matched, that's your answer.
There's a point where you just go, "Oh, fuck it, I don't care anymore,"
Yeah,
and
whatever.
you just play what you want to play. And if people think you're weird, then so be it.
That stresses me out in Australia because they will just stab you.
I have never met a normal person on a train, so it's okay to play fan servicey games.
Actually,
I've
I
never
was
met
on
a person on a train. I just sit in silence and stare at
last week. The trains were down, so they were doing buses to between Wollongong and Sydney, and I was on a bus. And there was a dude playing a Switch, and I'm always curious about what other people are playing. I must admit, I'm really naughty like that. Anyway,
I don't like you using the word naughty to describe yourself.
At one point, he moved his Switch screen or something. I got a quick glimpse. He was playing Disco Elysium, and I was like, "Yeah, you're a smart dude. You're a smart."
Yes, but
King.
what path did he go on?
Yeah, how do you know it wasn't being a Nazi, Matt?
That's true. He may have been a Nazi, but at least he was a thinking guy, because only thinking
don't
people
think
play
anyone-
Disco Elysium.
Gets Disco Elysium to play as the Nazis. I don't think it's a thing people do.
I was thinking this, like that run is for no one except for massive nerds who want to go back and play as a Nazi after playing the correct
I must
path
admit,
as a socialist.
I'm definitely, if I find the time over Christmas, I actually had like plans to do the Nazi path and see what happens, and just see just how much you must hate everything to actually do that. Like, think about it. You're going to read 3 million
How
words
much do you
of this
not
thing.
respect your fellow man?
Yeah, it definitely, like, I know you can be the Nazi in this game, and it's like that's one of the 4 paths you can take, and they're all different political ideologies, and technically you can do that. But it's pretty clear that if you're going to play as the Nazi in that game, the game's going to hate you. Like, that's
You're going to hate you. It's just it's representing life itself.
yeah, definitely. So anyway, Disco Elysium, good game. Play that.
Yeah,
Not
play
out-
that game
not-
instead of playing fucking titty bounce game, whatever the fuck Matt's talking about.
It's not out in December, but you can play it.
It's out now.
It's out now. Okay, so on December 8, here's a game that I'm actually quite looking forward to. It's called Witcher the Holy Night, which is
Oh, fuck, I was gonna say Witcher.
no. Witcher
That's
the
coming
Holy.
out in December as well.
Well, the PS5 update, yeah.
Yeah.
But Witcher the Holy Night is a classic visual novel by Type Moon. I think it came out before Fate, or maybe immediately after, one or the other. It was before Type Moon kind of took off as a developer and Fate became all it does. But Witch of the Holy Night is a very well-respected visual novel by these guys. And we've never had it in English before. So this is the first time it's been localized, I believe.
So it would have started out
And it
like
is a
on
full
CD-ROMs and an anime con.
Yes, it was like a 90s game. So
I love that sort of underground vibe, though. That's cool.
Yeah, some of those games start to they are starting to get discovered, I guess, now that they've been around long enough, and there's a certain thing about kind of the graphics they used in those kinds of games back in the day. People are rediscovering them. So yeah, this one's definitely a game to look forward to if you're into your visual novels. We also have, moving on, Dragon Quest Treasures comes out on December 9 because Square Enix just can't stop giving us games to play at the moment.
What is that?
This is an RPG, Alan.
No, but like, is it a main, like a proper style Dragon Quest game?
It
Or
is
is it like
a spin-off.
What's the premise?
Yeah,
No.
I need more information than that,
Don't
Matt.
know.
You can't just say it's a game in the series, but it's not the game in the
Because
series.
there's treasure in the original Dragon Quest.
No, it's definitely not.
Treasure is the friends you make along the way in this game.
put it this way: it is not Dragon Quest 12. I don't know that much.
Still got blood in it. It's not mature enough.
To be honest, I don't follow Dragon Quest that closely because I am just going to play each Dragon Quest game. So, I know I'm going to play Dragon Quest Treasures. I haven't gone and found out anything about it, but it should be good. It looks good. If you go and check it out on the Googles, you'll find out about it. I think it's let me see. It is a game that's about collecting loot from hard to reach places, and then
Oh, it follows one of the characters from 11.
Is it Sylvando?
No.
No,
I don't give a shit then.
Eric. I think it's basically a collecting game. Like you go and find resources and then craft stuff and then go and explore for more resources and stuff. I think. Anyway, they're releasing
not
it
Sylvando.
They're releasing it in the end of December, so I don't think they have too much faith in it themselves, to be honest. What else we got? We've also got Final Fantasy VII Reunion just come out on Switch as well, so you can play it portable the way it was originally done. You've got Raptor Boyfriend, a high school is that a dating game where you date a raptor?
Get out of here.
Where you date a
Raptor the bird
raptor?
or Raptor the dinosaur?
Romance a magical fairy, a sensitive Sasquatch, and a bold velociraptor.
Why would you not pick the Velociraptor? It's in the title of the game.
That's good. There you go, Alan. That'll be your game of the year for sure.
No,
You're gonna pick.
Even
You're
joke
gonna
about
pick
that,
the
'cause,
raptor.
like, that sounds like shit.
You're gonna pick the raptor. I'm sure you are.
No,
The
I'm not.
Sasquatch.
It probably
I'm
actually
gonna pick,
is
no,
gonna
I'm
be
gonna
pretty good.
cry my own fucking shirt because that's miserable.
If they have a sense of humor about it, it probably will actually be pretty good.
Yeah, it could be good fun. It could be like that bird one.
Oh yeah, I love the bird one.
Yeah, that was good fun. More visual novels. Napoleon in the Third World, a maiden without the word impossible. That comes out on
What?
December 16. Don't know much about that one, to be honest. And it's not a gender swap, so it's male Napoleon. I think you date him or something. I have no idea.
Do you date him after he gets exiled?
Well, Third World, but I don't think St. Helena counts as Third World, does it?
I don't think so.
I don't know. I don't know these things. You're asking me questions I do not have the
Is this
answers
gonna be
to.
is this gonna be like an Eternal Sonata situation where you date him in the final 2 hours of his life when he's dying in his bed? When he starts having like dreams about people named after wars he's fought in?
That seems possible to me.
Yeah. It
Yep.
checks out.
And then one final game comes out on December 16, just in time for Christmas. Elves Christmas Hentai Puzzle. So
Oh, fuck off. No. No, you chose to not talk about so many games in this section, and yet you chose to talk about Elves Christmas hentai. Fuck off.
Well, that's going to be.
I'm pissed off at you with that. That's bullshit.
That's what you buy, download, and play on Christmas Eve. You know, the family party. Everyone gets around the table.
It's gonna be a
and you
magical
pull out,
Christmas.
You pull out Elves Christmas hentai puzzle, and it's just a good
Little
time.
Jimmy gets out his Christmas stocking and pulls out a copy of Elves Christmas hentai.
Can I just say too, the joke I was going to make is that for the last couple of games, we haven't actually been looking at what the games are about. We've just been imagining what the games would be like based solely on the titles and describing if we would like that or not. And then we arrive at Elvis Christmas hentai puzzle. There's no...
It is clear on what it wants to be. So I
There's no
respect it to a
ambiguity
certain
there.
degree. Yeah. like obviously I'm not happy about it, but I understand there is an audience for that.
Call it what you are, yeah.
Yeah.
What if it's
great movie
a-
by Luca Guadagnino?
A simulation game where you build Christmas presents, and the Christmas presents sometimes are naughty, and the idea is to make sure your elves don't make naughty Christmas presents.
I
What if
don't
it
like the
doesn't
amount of
have
times
any-
that naughty has been said.
You started this with supple.
I did not start anything with supple. I started a good sentence with supple.
All right.
Right, Matt, what are you looking forward to this month?
Definitely Elves Christmas hentai puzzle. Definitely.
Yep, okay, moving on. Harlan, what are you looking for this month?
I think I will probably play Final Fantasy Crisis Core Reunion, whatever you call it.
Yeah,
Yeah, that'll be a good game.
that's a good choice. Yeah. Trent, what do you reckon?
How about that ghost RPG thing?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
that's gonna be a good game.
It'd be cool.
Yeah, found
It does
Ghost.
look good. It does look really nice, that one. Very
Matt,
charming.
do you want to give it an actual answer, by the way?
Oh, right. Yeah, why not? Samurai Maiden.
Yeah.
If it's like
And-
Onichambara, then I'll be happy.
Yeah.
That's like one step down from your original choice.
No, but at least there's like a thing to that game. Like there's something to it other than just like I'm gonna jack off with one hand and hit A with the other.
There's a puzzle, Alan. It's a quarter.
No,
of
the
title.
puzzle is how hard you can hit A in rhythm.
The puzzle probably completes itself. You don't want to interrupt gameplay.
It's the
time.
only thing that finishes. I'm looking forward to the Callisto Protocol.